Jackie-cation, Laurie Kilmartin.
Oh my God, Laurie Kilmartin.
Yes.
The things you cannot speak of. This show is the Jackie and Laurie show, and I'm Jackie Cation, and you're Laurie Kilmartin. But you got to do a cool stand-up-y thing today that was about stand-up.
Yes, so we're kind of introducing our show. I think all the Max Fun shows are just sort of like, we're going to go out to different members of the Max Fun audience that don't know about us or have, ignored us. Well, how dare you? So we're both stand-up comics, and we're almost exactly the same age. We're 4 days apart. We've had interesting parallels in our career and interesting not parallels, and we both are still doing stand-up, and we refuse to stop, even though the industry seems to want us to stop.
Right. The consensus, we're well-kept secrets. We're well-kept secrets nationally.
Yeah. Please get the word out about us. That's what we're asking. So we talk about comedy. We started this a while ago, like 5 years ago, I think, because we hardly saw women our age being guests on comedy podcasts, right? It always was if they had a woman on, it was the young, hot, upcoming female. And it's like, hey, sorry, we're not hot anymore, but we're actually funnier because we've been doing it longer.
Right. It turns out it's a learned skill, stand-up comedy. And we talk about that too, the skill of it and the points. And there's a certain, we both like it. We still both love it. So we do it a lot. And we talk about the joke writing process, and we talk about the booking process, and we talk about the jackasses around us and the glorious people around us. And and the awesome comics that we get to see just coming up as, around us, and the ones that have been doing it as long as us, and the ones that have went crazy, and the ones that haven't.
Oh, yes. Sometimes we can't name names. That's unfortunate.
Oh, my God.
We have to write it down in the chat.
Who doesn't want to keep working? You don't get to know.
You can guess, and we give you clues. Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that guy's still nuts. That guy's still nuts. The thing is super nice in real life, gets on stage, and then could not be weirder. And when I say weird, we're talking mean, misogynistic, and weird. That's weird to me, is misogyny and jackassery.
Yes. And guys, new listeners, we have these kind of cryptic conversations all the time that will infuriate you because you won't know who we're talking about. So why would you want to miss out on that? Okay. Subscribe to our vague accusations against people that you'll never find out who we're talking about. It's a mystery.
Sometimes we name names, and sometimes there's always something in the news, right? There's always some new thing that's happening. And so it's a block party this week and next week, and we would encourage you to listen to other Max Fun stuff. One of our favorite ones is Laura House and Annabelle Gurwitch. They have a new podcast on Max Fun. Yeah. It's called Tiny Victories.
Yay. Yes. And what I love about it, they celebrate a little thing that went right. And it's a 15-minute podcast. I mean,
both of those things.
You sign up for us, you're in for an hour. All right.
Almost to the minute.
Yes.
Almost to the minute.
But these guys, they have mercy on you, and they let you go at 15 minutes. And so you can bang out 4 of them in an hour. It's great.
Yeah. And they're cheerful. And it's something, and it's a tiny win. It's a tiny victory. So Laura House, Annabelle Gurwitch, both very funny.
Yeah.
And wonderful, great comics. So listen up, you guys. And right now, what do you want to talk about, Laurie?
Okay. What I can't talk about.
Yeah.
So I got this thing, signed an NDA that is airtight.
I can't believe. Yeah.
All I can tell you is, so I did a show today, and it's part of a thing. I did stand up, but it's part of something larger. And it was one of the coolest days I've ever had professionally. And I thought it was going to be a clusterfuck, but it was amazing.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was the thing that was, so one of the other acts, there was a picture of all involved, right? And one of the other acts put it on one of their socials for a few minutes. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure if we're allowed to, but there was no context, and it was like it could have been taken 5 years ago. Like there was nothing, right? And that person didn't add any details. But I was waiting. I'm like, if they let this up, then I'm gonna put mine up on my socials, right? So I was just waiting to see, because to ask a comic to not talk about something in their career. I mean, we talk about when we bombed. All right, now we're not supposed to talk about the coolest fucking thing when I just crushed. I crushed.
Yes, of course you did.
Are you fucking kidding me? But then later they made the comic take down the post, and so we're not allowed to give you details till it comes out in the spring.
Did you crush in front of the people in that photo?
Yes.
Yes, you did. Holy high heaven.
Yes. And
I saw that photo before it came down, and I have to tell you that I have never been more amazed and proud to know that you could keep that NDA, because I don't think I could have done it. So congratulations.
I did send it to the chat before I knew that it had been taken down. So I begged the chat, please keep it in the chat. Don't do anything. But one of the people, one of the I guess showrunners or whatever said, I said one of them was wiping her eyes during the Anne Frank joke, was wiping her eyes from laughing. What can I do?
You got to do the Anne Frank joke. Oh my God.
You know how long it took me to fucking get that thing tight?
Yeah.
Years. And
it really did. Every minute.
It.
Yeah, to have made that audience and whoever else was in that audience laugh.
Yeah,
doesn't even matter who else is in that audience. That's an amazing.
I found out afterwards who other people were in the audience. I was like, oh shit! I'm glad I didn't know.
Oh my God, was God there? Holy smokes! It's just showed up, and God, it turns out, is a large package of Starbursts. Anyway, I don't know, but I have to say that because. That picture, I would want to show that. And I was thinking about, of course, I made it about me almost instantaneously. I don't know if you know.
Jackie, that's why I can be friends with you. You're as selfish and awful as I am. And there's no one else in the business like us.
Oh, we could just turn it around, and I could just let you know that the first thing I thought is that some of my favorite people that I've known for 30 odd years, and I'd be like, isn't this the coolest thing ever? They'd be like, oh, that person. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to bury you alive and pour honey on your feet and have ants kill you.
Wait, are you talking about me?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the other people.
No more. Don't say no more.
That's it. No more. I won't do it. I won't run it. But so I did 2 shows last night. I was supposed to do a set tonight. I ended up picking up a set at the Improv. They moved my set from Hollywood Improv, moved it from Sunday to Saturday for a show.
Oh, that's good.
That's better. Sold out.
And it's more money as well.
It is. And and then I did Uncabaret, which paid, by the way.
Oh.
Yes, at the El Cid. And it was, but the improv show that I was on was at 8. And remember, the last 4 times I've done the improv, I've taken the bullet. I've gone first.
Right.
This time I'm last, second to last. Eastmo is after me. And then somebody showed up with a guestie that was famous who you'll be shocked to know I didn't know who the hell she was. Anyway.
Oh my God. Do you know? Can you give me a name so I can be really mad at who you don't know?
No.
Come on.
No. It was. She wasn't on the list. I looked on the list. I was like,
was it Ariana Grande?
It was Ariana Grande. It was Kim Kardashian, who's now doing stand-up comedy. So
she was fine. For what, you know what I mean? For who she is, it was fine.
You'll be shocked to know that I didn't watch.
Of course. No, not shocked at all. Okay, so go ahead. So improv.
I saw the last What If, though. It was great. So anyway, okay, so I was second to last, and the Uncab started at 9, and Byron Bowers was also on the show, and he was also on the Uncab show with me.
Oh, wow.
And so probably 4 hour, I got the list, the lineup, and I assumed I would be early because I've been early every time, and I was late in the lineup. So I sent an email back, and I was like, hey, can I go up early? I have a 9 o'clock show. And they're like, no, you can't. And they called everybody and asked, and everybody else had sets as well. So like Jade had a set over at the store, and Kirk Fox was also at the store, and who else was on? God, the damn show. It was very funny. Gary Cannon was emceed, and he was so freaking funny, man.
I love Gary.
Oh, crying out loud.
Did he insult you when he brought you up?
No, he was gushing because he had because I was late. I was too late, and he knew I needed to get right up, and it was too funny because, but Jade was just doing all crowd work, and he did all of it. There was no crowd work left.
Yeah.
Turns out Gary Cannon's done all the crowd work.
Gary Cannon and Jimmy Pardo were on the same show back to back. I'm like, what's happening now? What's happening?
No.
Yes, that happened. That happened at Flap a couple months ago. Oh my gosh.
That's insane. And so Byron Bowers went before me, and it was Bobby Lee. That's what it was. It was Jade, Bobby Lee, Kirk Fox, Byron Bowers, myself, and then Ismo was going to go, but somebody went in between. She was, by the way, gorgeous, whoever she was. I'm sure she's famous. Anyway, she was she might have been wearing heels, but she was 6 feet. She was very, very fit. She was wearing a leopard skin onesie. She was African American. And her hair was fabulous, and she looked like she was about to destroy. And because everybody did, by the way. Cool. Everybody killed, and it was fantastic. Byron Bowers made me laugh so hard. I got 2 words. He's got a new bit about a mustard sommelier, and it was the silliest, funniest thing I'd heard in a long time.
Oh my God, I love him. He's so great.
And then I had to rush over to Uncab.
Yeah,
where I got to see him work on half of the same set and half new stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And then I believe he had a late night set over at the store. And so I kind of want to be him. Why didn't I have a late night set at the store? Again, I've made it about me almost instantaneously.
Well, why don't you?
Welcome, Block Party.
Yeah, well, why don't we? Well, that's a question we ask all the time. So I took a red eye on Thursday to New York, and I was supposed to be I was going to, try out the 1 p.m. flight, but then I was going to miss my son's water polo game. So Jackie, can you say something so your face pops up? I feel like
what happened? Are you on an iPad?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Because Kyle was taking notes. View. I'm like, who am I talking to?
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Oh, there you. Yeah, gallery. Okay. So I took the red eye again, and I had 6 sets on. I can't do the red eye. I can't
on
hold
Friday?
on. I went to gallery because I'm showing up and I keep looking at my eyelashes that are fucking amazing. They put false eyelashes on me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I had a set at Union Hall. I did Whiplash.
Oh wow.
And David Cross was headlining it, or he went up last, and he has an opening chunk, a bit that is fucking phenomenal. Okay.
Is the word baller? The word baller came up when I saw Byron Bowers because he used it, and then I thought that's exactly what your set is. So did David Cross have a baller opening chunk?
Yes, he did. It's one long story that ends in a really great punchline that you don't see coming.
Oh wow!
And I think he's shooting a special soon, so it's really great. And then the rest of the stuff is really funny too. But I was like, wow, that is fucking ballsy. And then I hightailed it over to Manhattan. That was in Brooklyn, and did 4 sets at the Stand.
Wow.
They have 3 performance spaces now, right? They have downstairs, which is the main room, which is like the kill zone.
Yep.
And then upstairs in the glass box, which is it's hit or miss, right?
Okay.
But yeah, so you just go in,
back and forth, up and down, up and down. What's the third space? Yeah.
The third one is a patio. They're doing shows on a patio.
Because
which is like basically the sidewalk. But here's the thing, like I think they don't want to do shows on the patio because they're hard for the comics. There's traffic going by. You're shouting. There's ambulances. You know how outdoor shows are.
It's New York. Yeah.
Right. But people keep picking. I thought it was I thought the shows were sold out, and these are leftover seats that they put on the patio.
Yeah.
But people are selecting a patio.
Oh, because
like
they
a
want
lot
to
of
sit
people
outside.
still want to sit outside. They don't want to get inside. So
yeah.
So, but you can do a lot of sets there. And I was losing my mind because I was just kept like going. And then my last one is at midnight there, and then I had a 12:55 at Greenwich Village Comedy Club, which is near the cellar. Like it's like, so the cellar, creates, they start, they put down their founding club, right? And then they start to spread out. And you know how comedy clubs are, especially in New York, it's like, oh, you started an audience there. Well, I'm going to start a show there, and a lot of the spillover that doesn't, make it into the cellar or to the cellar's other satellite rooms that are also in the area, will go to Greenwich Village. Either way.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's really, that part of New York City has become a destination for stand-up. Okay. Wow. So people just come there. Maybe they can't get into the cellar. They walk two feet away. They're barked into another room. If they miss that one, they're barked into a third room. Like it's just, and they're all full. They're full. It's become the place you go to see stand-up when you visit New York City. I
might go stay the full 2 weeks in New York in January and just see if I can get up.
Yeah.
Just a boat ton.
Yeah. And it's packed, like just walking around. And this is a holiday weekend because of Columbus Day, but so that was a fun show. I was exhausted. I got what I thought were great shoes, and I got 2 pairs of them. One for New York, one for LA, and then by the 6th set, I was like, I just need to lay down, or I need to be taken by ambulance to the apartment because I can't walk in these things anymore.
What are they, dress shoes or are they walking shoes?
No, they have a heel. That's the thing.
Okay.
And then I'm going up and down stairs like subway, all that kind of crap. And I guess it wears on my feet. So then
you should sell that painting behind you. Anyway,
it is an original Van Gogh. I was just told. I don't. The Louvre thinks they have the original, or maybe it's not the Louvre, maybe it's the Getty, but I actually do, and it's not framed. That's the way Van Gogh wanted.
Yeah, he didn't want anything to take from the imagery. Okay.
Just these staples that are underneath. I think they actually help it. So then Saturday, I brought my tennis shoes, and I felt like one of those 80s
working girl. Yeah, working girl.
But man, it helped so much. Oh, my feet were in such better shape. But I had 2 patio shows last night and 7 spots altogether. I had 6 at the stand, and then one more. I finished up at Greenwich Village again. Like I kind of did the same thing right at 12:55 there.
Yeah, that's got to pay for the trip right there.
It does, and it's like tags plenty. Like every set is just a little different, and you keep doing this. Like I just was like, all right, this is gonna be my set list for these things, and I felt like I came up with a bunch of, like, at least 3 new ending, definitely one ender on the mortuary thing that I started talking about. Yeah.
Oh man, that mortuary bit, man, that is so awesome.
I got an ender for it that I did today at the show. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Because now my mom's stuff ends on something that's not necessarily about her. It ends on the mortuary, which is nice. It's a nice way to get out of it.
Yeah.
And
because you have to get out of it. Holy smokes. I watched Bamford. We did Brea and we did Oxnard. And her dead mom stuff, shall we say, also gets out of it, and it's tightening up so great. I don't know if it's on anything she's released yet, but it's been great. And my new bit is I got a new angle on a bit that's so new. Talk to me in 18 months. It's the longest of all gun bits. It's that gun bit with the mace and the stuff. I've added another chunk to it about fishing. What?
Yeah.
Anyway, great.
But I saw that. I saw that at Flappers. I thought that was really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
With was I doing the fishing thing?
Yeah, you did. Remember?
I think I wrote it that night.
Yeah, I think you said you ripped it on stage.
Yeah, that's it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So 13 sets in 2 nights.
Yeah, and then one today. And
Oh.
then I was like, and because I stayed an extra day to do this, and I was like, I could probably call a few people and say, hey, I'm staying over. But I thought, you know what? Hey, calm down. You might be fucking exhausted, and you might want to go home. And
you might want to bask in how great this day was.
Yeah, or take a bath in the bathtub,
Right, you have a bathtub in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's so cool.
So anyway, I am plus I brought a ton of shit down there. I wouldn't want me taking my suitcase full of clothing options to, various clubs to do 5 minutes or something. So yeah. I'm okay,
Yeah, I think you're okay. That's awesome. That is hilarious.
Although, man, I do want to take these eyelashes out for the night, but
you will after this. Yeah.
No, I don't mean off me. I want to take them out so people can see them.
Oh. You're like, look at how big they are. Yeah, I've had them on a couple of times. I always forget. And I rub my face. It isn't right. Anyway, you don't want them coming half off. But yeah, other than that, my foot continues to not be healed. The ankle. And
are you still in a boot?
I'm still in a boot. I'm not in the boot sometimes, but now it's 4 weeks. 4 weeks of this.
Oh my fucking God.
Right. It should be better, but the left side, I don't know how, and I know if I talk to the doctor and say, how long is it going to take? They're going to say, as long as it takes, please give me $45. And I don't want to have that conversation because I like my $45. And so
that's your copay for just a regular visit at Kaiser?
I believe so. And
that's
I got
high enough where you don't want to go in. If it was $20, you'd be like, all right, let's do it. But 45.
Right. And if I thought I would hear something else, I would totally do it. But I did get a bill for my fall in Alameda the week before I fell and sprained my ankle. And I got that bill, and I texted you, and I was like, so the club owner, Patrick, said that he would pay for the bill. Should I send it to him? And so I sent it to him, and I said, you said you would pay this. This is what it looks like? And he's like, yeah, I totally got it. And it was less expensive than I thought it was going to be because of my deductible, but it was less covered. Like it was, I don't know. It's an emergency room bill. Why would I be cryptic? It was $673, and Kaiser paid $98 of it.
What the fuck?
So the balance is like $575.
Oh my God.
But I thought it was, but I didn't take an ambulance, which I think adds thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they just did the CT scan, which I guess is pretty standard or basic or something.
Isn't there, Kaiser is all over Northern California as well. You guys didn't think of going to a Kaiser ER, or was it
we went to a Kaiser ER.
What? They charge you that in their own ER?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I have a $7,000 deductible.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And
all right.
Yeah, the insurance it's okay. It seems to be pretty good insurance. I don't get sick. Knock on.
Yeah.
Not my head. I need that. So, but but it hasn't been a thing. So I haven't really had to do it. Though I'm due to get all sort of the mammogram and the big peak. I'm supposed to go in and have all that done.
Your pap smear, that's the big peak.
The big peak. That's what I call it. The big peak.
Sure.
And we'd call the show The Big Peak if you want. But here's the horrible thing that happened this week. So I have, and I think I told you part of it, but it just occurred to me that it reminded me of when I was editing, after I filmed my special, which by the way, much like your NDA and wanting to release these things, I want to release the thing because it's done now. And I'm like, but that's not how marketing is done. That's not how it's done. So I'm like, okay, all right, I won't touch it. And so I have I have a lawyer that I've never had a lawyer before. And it turns out I am good at one thing that I consider myself to be very good at, and that would be stand-up comedy. The rest of it, the business side of it, some people think I'm good at it. I am okay at it, but I'm not. It's not my job, right? So I have this lawyer that was recommended by the person standing next to me, right? At the time when I said I need a lawyer, he was like, I have a lawyer. So I have been using him, and he's done a couple of different things, and he seems like a good lawyer, but not. He made a mistake on the I got the offer from the people to distribute the special. I forwarded it to the lawyer. The lawyer sent me back the counter offer, and he had misspelled my name wrong twice, and the name of the woman we are working with at least once.
Super sloppy.
So I sent it back to him, and I said, the points seem salient, but the typos aren't great. He didn't fix the typos. He just forwarded it to her.
After you pointed it out?
Yeah. And so I said, just bill me. I'm done. I'm done talking to you. And
so you fired him.
Except for I didn't, because I don't know how to fire anybody, Laurie. So I just said, I'm not going to sell it. Which isn't true if somebody wanted to buy it. But I don't know how to get rid of the lawyer. I don't know.
Can you just say, I you know what? I need someone who has a little more attention to detail. Thank you. Here's your money.
I want to burst into tears saying that out loud to somebody.
Yeah.
What if he gets mad at me? What if he doesn't like me anymore? Oh my God. And absolutely,
Jackie,
no one would call that.
What?
No one would call that I would have that response.
No, and you don't seem to care if I like you or not. You seem to enjoy pissing me off.
You're not a lawyer. Let's see if I can get Guy Branum to do it. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I don't think he has passed the bar here in California, or I don't believe he's an entertainment lawyer. But the thing is so she sent back a counter offer. And it felt like she was annoyed. It felt like she wasn't psyched about the typos either. And that's why it was super low. But maybe it was super low because it's just a straight stand-up thing and there's nothing fancy. Like you had all those interviews and stuff. And
what do you mean?
For 45 jokes, there was a lot of interstitial stuff and documentary angle to it.
Yes,
mine is literally just a stand-up show.
Right.
So maybe that's what it's worth, and that's what they think it'll be worth, because there was a flat rate that she offered me initially. He came back with other stuff, and including the DVD rights. And I was like, oh, are you in your 50s too? You think that someone's going to want to buy a DVD? Fantastic. Anyway, so, and then she came back with a counter offer, which was just slightly more. And maybe that's the fair rate, but I don't know.
I doubt.
But it doesn't cover the cost of it.
I feel like they're just blanket. This is what we're going to pay. You know,
right? But and other people that they've signed with, I understand that they've paid more.
Yeah,
but it was because I think that there was more to it. There was interstitially stuff and interview stuff. Oh,
right.
So, but this was just a straight, because maybe that is the going rate for the straight stand-up, because after costs and stuff, we're to split it 50-50. And so, but I've decided if I ever need another lawyer, I'm going to go with Bamford's lawyer.
Sure.
I'm just going to go with someone and her estate planner, because Andy and I don't, because I don't have, we don't have a will or any, no, we don't have any wills? Of that. No. But you have a kid.
I did a will. Yeah. It all goes to him. And if anyone tries to take anything else, I need you to step in. It's all supposed to go to my son. Now your special, could you add things to it? Like, could you do animations? Is there anything that you see that you don't have to have interviews or anything, but that you could make it, you know?
I've sent it to the guy that did Tig's animated series. I sent it to him and asked him if there was anything that he thought that he could animate, that I could pay him to animate, if he was willing to. And I don't think he's had a chance to look at it.
Would you be willing to pick clips for him? Because asking someone to watch an hour is a lot. But if you were to say, I think this mark, give them the clips and say, these seem, animatable to me. What do you think? Give them support.
I could do that. I don't know. Yeah. There's part of me that also doesn't want to push, I look at, because when I was sending out the idea, I burnt that bridge with that producer woman, by trying to be my own, trying to be my own lawyer. And then my lawyer just made me mad. And so I can burn my own bridges, it turns out. And so now I'm shy to, I'm exhausted. I just want to do stand-up, Laurie. I just want someone to buy the thing.
Yeah.
Put it on television or fucking don't.
Yeah.
It turns out I've already paid the credit cards. So it's already paid for. So maybe I cut it up into 120 30-second TikTokable clippity clips. And
I know. How much did you pay for it? Was it
Hey, Cliff. Hey, it's a cliffhanger, you guys.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a break. And let's also essentially that, which I'm willing to say, I guess.
Yeah. Shit. These things are so fucking expensive.
They're expensive, but it was well done. In the end, the guy who edited it, he told me, the guy who directed and produced it, he ended up editing it because of my problem with the editor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said I didn't have to pay him, but I had already budgeted to pay an editor, and he did it was a lot of work,
Yeah.
And so I gave him the rest of the money that I hadn't given the guy who edited, who kind of went off the deep end a little bit. And so I just gave him the rest of that money. So it ended up, and with publicity so far, I've spent $30,000.
Yeah.
So I would like, and I assume it'll be another 5, right? So I assume it's $35,000 for me to do this thing. So I would like to get $35,000, but I'm also super over it. I'm like, here's the good news. The album's in the can. It's going to come out November 16th. The art is really cool for the album cover. The video itself is delightful.
It's a great way to promote the album. You have amazing clips to promote the album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but still, Jesus.
And to my knowledge, it'll. But I've also thought maybe I contact people again, and we could do a twofer, because I also have the original HD Horcrux video.
Mm-hmm.
So they could buy both of them. And that would cost me, I think, that would ended up costing me $20, I think.
Wow, this business fucking sucks. Because you all these assholes getting a ton of money, and you look at the content, it's like, what?
It's not that great.
You're paying money for those jokes. Those jokes suck. Does it matter? Do jokes matter to anyone in comedy? Like, what the fuck? How come good jokes don't beget a good career? I mean, it's a fucking crapshoot, It
is a crapshoot.
Sometimes it does, and a lot of times it doesn't.
Right, and I wanted to pay fair the people who did the work, right?
Right.
The people who did the work deserve the money that I paid them, and I do the work, so I deserve to.
Right, you deserve it as well.
I deserve it as well. And did you end up? I'm sure you did, because you're good at this. Did you watch the Chappelle?
I did. And Jackie, I wasn't necessarily talking about.
No. Are you getting? Why would you talk? I mean, it doesn't even. There's 1,000 dudes out there who have a billion. There's so much money. Yeah.
It's so distressing.
There's only a couple. Was that you I was talking to? I was trying to think of sort of people like Chappelle and very popular, well-revered comics tend to be dudes, right? There's Bill Burr,
Oh
there's
yeah,
Dave Chappelle. They've been canonized, right? Like CK
Yeah.
was.
yeah.
And I was trying to think of women comics who are, and initially all I could think of was Wanda Sykes and Ellen DeGeneres. And then somebody was saying it's Sarah Silverman and
Mhm.
Amy Schumer, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And maybe Glazer now. And Kathleen Madigan, but Kathleen Madigan isn't famous enough. She hasn't been canonized like that.
You know what's weird is like,
and Bamford maybe, but not.
Yeah,
she
I think
definitely is. I think maybe
Yeah.
a generation lower, like my gen, she is a god.
she's a god.
Yeah.
She's canonized, but she's not. It's not as like my brother never brings up Maria Bamford.
Yeah, that's the thing. Men do not idolize female comics. It's very rare, but women will love male comics. They just can't. They can't get behind us like we get behind them. That's the entire problem with a lot of things in this country.
Yeah.
Is men won't get behind women who want to do stuff. You know,
Yeah.
they
just want you to be arm candy, and I'm pretty, but I'm more than that. I'm more than that, you guys. Especially when I get real close to the Zoom.
Okay. Really, the light was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I watched his special just so I could, know
Right.
what everyone was talking about.
Mhm.
And he's so funny and he's so gifted, and he's such an experienced comic, and his timing, like he has so much going for him, and there's takes he'll have on other stuff, and I'm like, that's so funny. And then you're like, oh, this thing again.
Can I speculate? Can I speculate without having seen it? That's right. It's my favorite thing to do.
It's called Vacation.
It's that and a Diet Coke cranberry. Okay, so but I would speculate that the jokes aren't done.
Well, you haven't seen it, so you shouldn't.
Well,
some
because
of them are very done.
Oh, some of them are super done.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, and this is just a general note, to have a comic producing an hour of comedy during a pandemic when you can barely perform, even though he was doing show like his outdoor shows, that's like one show a week or two shows a week, and and they're in Ohio, so you might be getting repeat audience members. Like, it's not like you're in New York, where you're able to nail, really hone a chunk. That's not how he came up with this hour. And that, I don't know, that's maybe not has ever been his style. He more does one show for 3 hours, and I think repeats material. Well, but, I mean,
I also I was talking to somebody, and these are genuinely supportive feminist men who and this is a comic who sort of is in general on the right side of history.
Yeah.
But but literally thinks, like, said something along the lines of women should be mad because a man gets something. A man who becomes a woman is getting something, cutting out another woman. And for me, there's two problems here. And one,
really? He said that?
Yes. Is that, because here's the thing. Trans women are women. They're just more fucking women. It's just another woman has gotten this thing. And the second thing it does is it encourages this lack of abundance attitude. Right. That there's not enough work and there's only room for one woman. So why would a trans woman get it and you not be mad? Well, how about there's more work for more women? That's what I'm mad about. Right. How about there's a third job? Right? Why don't you hire 3 women, and then it won't just be one woman who happens to be trans or not trans, and not me.
Yeah, again, I mean, I like how it's like women, I'm mad for you. It's like, yes, you're actually mad that you've probably been, quote, tricked by a trans woman who you didn't realize was trans, or you're afraid that'll happen, right? Don't drag us cis ladies into your fucking shit. Okay.
Right.
This is on you.
Yeah, if your dick twitches, that's not my fault. That's not their fault. That's nobody's fault. All that is a sign that your dick works. So why don't you shut it? Just shut up. It's
Dick twitches, pitching dick twitches for a title. And some sort of album title later on in life, Jackie. Don't let those two words go away.
How about this is what I want as for an album title? Do jokes matter? Anyway, let's do comic of the week. We forgot to do comic of the week.
Oh right, yes.
Maddie Wiener? I believe it's Wiener. Yeah, Maddie T. Wiener. Yes. She just did Just for Laughs.
Yes,
and I watched her video online, and her Just for Laughs set, and it was freaking hilarious. And it's MADDIET as in Tom, but probably not. Wiener, WIENER, Maddie T. Wiener, and that's her Instagram. I don't know what she is on. I couldn't find her on Twitter.
It's Maddie.
You know what?
It's Maddie Tweener.
It's
just her full name.
Tweener.
It's the T is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I was gonna say she must be young. She's not even on Twitter.
She's only doing YouTube shorts, you guys. Did you get that memo from 800-pound gorilla that we have to learn how to do YouTube shorts?
I didn't get that memo, but I might have gotten that memo and not read that memo. So those are two possibilities, and I will reread my emails. It's now we're coming up to when I really have to start doing a bunch of album shit. I've been postponing and kicking that can down the road.
When's it coming out again? October
26th, I think.
Oh my God, that's in 15 days.
Right. So yeah,
2 weeks from now, your album drops. That's so great.
And I make some money.
So I saw Tom Rhodes last night and Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
And Tom Rhodes was saying how good his Sound Exchange and how nice it is to just stay home because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Tom has a ton of albums. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have double digits. So
what the fuck?
He looked very dapper.
He's always looking dapper.
He always looks
very
dapper.
Handsome. He's bringing it. He's our age, and he's not letting it go. He's staying on top of shit. You know, he's writing. He's looking good. I am a pro. This is a pro Tom Rhodes account.
And then Craig Robinson was there, and it's always fun to see Craig. And
he's great.
And so I was hanging out with him, and and then Byron Bowers was super funny, and it was just nice. Bobby Lee wanted to smoke inside, and I was like, and Aunt Jackie is like, no, go outside. And he ignored me, it turns out.
Smoke marijuana or cigarettes?
I don't know. Oh my God. So I went to El Cid, and there was an event after Uncabaret. And Uncabaret is essentially our age and 100 years older. And and they're delightful. They get everything. It's outstanding. But the thing after us was a dance party.
Yeah.
And it was so all beautiful young people who were just completely they were so they were all, and there was so much pot that on the way out I said to the door guy, I said, did you know that pot was legal now? And just to see if I could get a laugh from a guy who hadn't cracked a smile the entire time I was there. And I did. I got a smile.
Good. So Jackie, yesterday I noticed these kind of conversations, you know, when there's all comics sitting around. So it's younger guys, right?
Yeah.
Mostly younger guys around the table, and they're only talking about the sets that they just had, and they're talking about hecklers. And then it's like, well, and I have this woman who did this, and they're dissecting the heckler, the situation, and it's all they want to talk about. And I was like, I guess this might be like between 5 and 10 years in.
Yeah.
You're just obsessed, right? And you get a heckler and they throw you off your game, and you're like, oh, I got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it was like this crazy sort of like kind of frenetic shit and I feel like, I don't know, we've been around enough where it's like, oh, one of those, right?
It
Like,
has right. It just someone tells you what happened, and you're just like, oh, I know. That's like that old joke in prison when someone just yells the number of the joke, and everybody laughs.
Yeah.
And so you can recognize immediately the kind of heckler. It better be interesting.
It's never interesting, but also like if what they were saying was accurate, I'm like, you guys, if someone looks like they're not enjoying the show and you ask them what's the matter, don't you like me, you're giving them a loaded gun and saying aim it at me. Like, you can't, that you're helping them heckle you. I don't know why you would do that. You don't know, some people may not be into you, or some people are just in a terrible mood. They don't want to, you never know. And I mean, you and I, we've had people come up to us after the show. You think, oh, they hated you. And that was the best time they've ever had, because their faces just don't show it or something, but don't go, here's like, be like a lawyer in trial. Don't ask a question that you don't know the answer to. Right. So if you're
Elliot lives. Yeah.
Do you like me? You better be prepared for them to say no, comedically. Okay. Don't be startled and then talk about it for 7 hours straight. It was fun. It just felt like an age, like that
an experience thing. Yeah.
Because then I was sitting with older comics like Sherrod Small and Christian Finnegan and Joe DeRosa, and we were all having very different conversations. No one talked about their sets, did not give a shit, and it was just all about comedy and SBA loans and all. Figure out. Oh my God, it was. I was like, thank God these guys are here to talk to me. And then the other thing is, and then there was a female comic I was talking to, like a younger, newer comic. And her sister had gone into labor that night and just had a baby. And so I was like, oh my God, you're an aunt. Like, it was the first baby of the grandchild, I guess, or whatever. I'm like, everything just changed. You're an aunt. And she was asking me about childbirth and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is not a conversation I would ever have with young male comics. I'm so used to just sort of kind of tuning out whatever, all their anxieties about women or whatever, and it was so nice to just kind of like, we just took a little corner of the table and started, talking about women shit, like childbirth. Here's what it's like for me. Maybe it was like that for your sister. If you have a kid, it might be like that for you too.
Right. And the guys are over there texting each other pictures of their balls, going, "It's for the boys. It's for the boys."
But
don't look at it.
We've just been silent partners in so many male conversations our entire careers that when we get to have a conversation with another woman, it's like shocking and startling. And like, I wish I could have more of these when I go to a club. I don't have to fucking listen to you bitch about your girlfriend.
Please book 3. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Hey, let's take another break.
Okay.
Maybe it's a tiny victory break.
Ooh.
Not, but I like this.
Maybe it's an Emily Heller break.
I think
she's great.
It's a sponsor break, Jackie.
Oh, that too. Well, when are you coming home? Tomorrow?
I come back tomorrow.
Okay.
And I know I'm at the West Side on Saturday.
Yep.
Thursday, I'm doing Babs Gray and Ashley Ray's show at the Airliner.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Yes. And then I have another one on Wednesday, and I forget it off the top of my head, but I will be, of course, tweeting about it.
I go to Chicago on Wednesday, doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with Laurie, with Maria at something called the Den Theater in Chicago. Maria Bamford, 6 shows to my knowledge. We're heading out on Wednesday, getting there on Thursday, coming back on Monday. So I don't know what the breakdown is, but the Den Theater, everybody in, I don't know. If you're in Iowa, you can come to Chicago. If you're in Indiana, come to Chicago. If you're in Wisconsin.
How many you're doing? 6 shows?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How many does it seat?
I don't know. I've never been.
Sounds intimate.
Yeah, I
That
think she
sounds
wants to
great.
really. I think she wants to tighten some stuff up. So she was like, because she's also doing the Bloomington Attic, but I can't go with her because I think I'm doing either Arkansas or Laughing Tap the week that she's going to be at the Bloomington Attic.
Yeah.
And
The
I
Comedy
love.
Attic in Bloomington.
Yeah, Comedy Attic. But I also bought, get this, in Chicago, I signed us up. Scott's going to go too, her husband. And so I signed us all up to go on that architecture tour, the boat tour of Chicago.
Oh, I did that when Conan did shows at the Chicago Theater.
It's supposed to be incredible.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did it in Milwaukee. It wasn't as cool. I also had an interesting conversation with Mary Mack about why we have a knee-jerk hatred of Illinois. And it's because we're from Wisconsin. And it doesn't make any sense because Chicago's lovely. It's a cool city. But whenever anybody says how great it is and how much they love Chicago, I'm always like, yeah, it's all right. What do I care? It's all I know is that because people of Illinois when I was a child, would make fun of Wisconsin a lot. Or did they? Or was it just low self-esteem all over Wisconsin about people from Illinois? I think it might be the latter.
No, I have a knee-jerk reaction against Los Angeles as a Northern Californian.
And it's so weird. Regional.
I mean, I like LA fine now,
Sure.
It's where my kid's going to have most of his memories of growing up. So there's no point in me hating it. But yeah, I even miss Walnut Creek. I miss Mount Diablo. I miss all those landmarks. Maybe when I'm 80, I'll head back home, and ride out the rest of the stormy life in the Bay Area.
Yeah. Could do. I booked us, so we're going. I booked us next April in Chicago, at the Lincoln Lodge. We're both doing that, and then we're doing something else. What was the other town that we're both going to?
We're going to New York City at.
That's right. in January, the Bell House in January, and then we're gonna do a couple of live Jackie and Laurie's, all three of us, for Rushnicks in February.
2 back-to-back, 2 Fridays in a row. We're doing live Jackie and Laurie, so you guys can chime in, right? They can comment live, and
it'll be live Zooms on the 2 middle Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Rushnicks. We don't have ticket links or anything, but it's also in February.
Yeah.
It's next year, and but that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's all good. Let's see. I'm working on a podcast with my friend Cheryl. So we are going to.
We should both have 2 podcasts. We should definitely both.
She's actually the star of it. I'm going to be like the third wheel. She's going to interview other writers about the comedy writing. She's multi-Emmy nominated. She won an Emmy for King of the Hill. I mean, her first show was Herman's Head, which was
I freaking love that
crazy show.
Oh, I freaking love that show.
She worked on Martin.
Whoa.
Oh my God, Martin.
I think the only woman and perhaps the only white person on Martin.
Right.
And of course, she worked on Norm. I don't know if you know this, but Faith Ford's character, her name was Shelley Kilmartin. Like Cheryl gave her my last name.
Awesome.
Not that it was ever used, but that's my only network credit, basically. And she worked on other shows. She did Sue Costello's pilot. Costello and Father of the Pride she was on, and she has a great story about Father of the Pride they're going to talk about, I think. And she ended up on The Real O'Neills. That was her last show that she worked on, and she won a Humanitas Award for that. So she's amazing, has amazing stories.
Right.
And the premise of the podcast is called When Things Go South, we're going to pitch it as something, but the premise of whatever it is, the recording, the interview is when you're in a writer's room and you have a show and there's a problem, and it's a bad problem and you guys got to fix it. How do you fix it? Sometimes the problem is, you know, in Father the Pride, in the case of that, it was about Siegfried and Roy, and one of them was eaten by a lion. That's a problem in a writer's room. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, so we're working on that. I don't know.
Do you have so you're early stages of working on that? Still early?
Yes, we're gonna record the first one on Tuesday, and kind of try to shape it as into a sizzle reel to hopefully sell. Yes. Well, possibly. We'll see.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's all different kinds of places, and if you could sell it for real, that'd be great, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did pitch it to my old boss, so we'll see what happens. So I can keep my, let them know I'm still here, still say hi in the building, etc.
Sure.
See if it goes. You never know.
You don't know.
It's weird. Like, I officially end my working for Conan at the end of October. We've been sort of kept around a little bit. So I've been sort of like, still, employed, although not much to do, and now it's really coming to an end, the checks and everything. And my son's water polo season ends that same day. So it's like, I've enjoyed having the fall, right? I kind of enjoyed not having much to do.
Right. When those games started, you actually had something to do. You're like, oh, I can go watch. Yeah.
Yeah. And just, it was nice to not miss something for once. Like, I was always missing things, and so it was nice to participate. But now I feel like at the end of October, when those two things end, the paychecks and the season, it's like, okay, you better fucking figure some shit out. You have a little bit of grace time. Okay. But not much, not a lot. So you better
but you can get unemployment too, right?
No, because I am employed by myself. I'm employed by my corporation. That's why I was able to get PPP loans.
Oh, okay.
Because my corporation employs me. So believe I got into an in-depth conversation with another comic who also is incorporated. We were talking SBA loans, and I'm like, these young comics don't even know what's going on. I think you almost have to be a certain age to be aware that you should be incorporated, so that you're eligible. That wasn't why any of us was. We were just told it was cheaper. You could deduct everything, but especially because of the Trump taxes, they changed the way artists can. So it's really, really good to incorporate if you can, as soon as you're making
figure out money. How to incorporate young comics.
Yeah, but
S-Corp.
You as well. We during COVID, because we had corporations, they were giving you money to businesses. So we have businesses. It wasn't a personal loan. It was something to our business. And the SBA is also doing that as well. So anyway,
just want to make sure it's clear. Everybody know where the money is.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a comic or an artist, you should look into, having a corporation, because the corporation kind of take the hit for you sometimes,
Right. And be okay with firing people. I wish I was good at that. Anyway.
Well, I only employ myself, so I can't fire myself.
You got a terrible employee. What? I think we're done.
You do? How much time have we done, Kyle?
We're good.
Okay. Bye.